What is good, everyone? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Wire series. This is episode 4 of season 3 and it is called Amsterdam. Sounds interesting. Last episode, things are kicking off now between Marlowe and Bodie's just let Stringer Bell know about it, so I'm assuming that that's going to escalate this episode. Omar and Omar's crew just lost that lady. I didn't know her name, but rest in peace to that lady. And you know they're going to be looking for revenge against the people who were operating inside that house and who were guarding her funeral. I think they were doing, like, staking it out to see if they showed up, which is fucked up. They wouldn't even allow them to come and mourn their dead friend. Cole passed away randomly from being on a Stairmaster and all the detectives got drunk. I don't think that's going to further the story at all, but it was an interesting little subplot last episode. The Major in the Flex Squad is trying a new strategy where for a time he's planning on pressing 3 specific areas to funnel them back into areas which he'll allow them to operate in for a bit and then bust them after some time. He equated it to catching fish in a sea to shooting a bunch of fish you've already caught in a barrel. So let's see how that strategy pans out. And yeah, Littlefinger is still weaseling and politicking his way up, playing the mayor against the Commissioner Burrell and Burrell against the mayor and this and that, and just doing everything he fucking can to make little power plays left and right. And Cutty obviously was going to visit his old flame. It was just a shame to see. He clearly loved her very much and had been thinking about her his whole time inside, and she just clearly moved on as a person. And you can tell there was so many things he wanted to say to her, and you could also tell that, to the way I perceived it anyways, she genuinely just didn't feel the same way back anymore. And I felt bad for the dude. And again, this is another element that could eventually turn him back down a dark path. Maybe he was doing all this and keeping his life clean because of her. Not that it would be her fault, but his motivation for any of it would die if that was his motivation for it. So here's hoping it's not. I want to see this dude come out of it alright. They've set him up to be so likeable thus far. I just know how the Wire writers are. Don't you be fucking cunts with this dude. You already fucked me up with D'Angelo, yeah? Don't make me like this dude and root for this dude. I'm warning you, Wire writers. I can feel it already. I feel bad for this guy and I'm rooting for him. You always kill people I root for. Stop it. Stop it. You can't always kill the people you're rooting for. You can't always do it. Hey, have you seen the new Batman? It was written by the Wire writers. No, I haven't. What happens in it? Oh, that's weird. It starts, and then Batman gets his throat cut from behind by the Penguin, and then it's just all about the Riddler confusing the Joker with some Christmas cards from there on. Strange take. You can't always do it. So please, let Cutty have a happy ending. I'm praying for Cutty to have a happy ending, yeah? And with that, let's get into this shit. This is episode 4 of season 3, Amsterdam. Let's check it out and see what is said to it.
We need your cooperation.
My cousin Willie Gant cooperated. He went downtown and testified. He did it in Tupac today.
What are you talking about? Everyone knows Tupac's alive.
Kids, they can't play outside no more. Some nights when we hear these plops, we got to sleep under our beds.
I sympathise with these people. It's a shame to see the faces of the people who are supposed to be listening to them in this room and who clearly actually cares and who doesn't give a fuck and who's worried about perception and who's worried about actually solving the problem.
I can't promise you it's going to get any better. We can't lock up the thousands out there on the corners. There'd be no place to put them even if we could.
Man, I love how real this guy's being about it all. I wonder how Littlefinger will take his stance on this. I don't think he's been able to hear him speak yet.
Gave him a can of gasoline and told him to put out the fire.
We are making progress.
Tommy Carcetti.
Tommy Carcetti. Okay, I've got it. He's Tommy. As in, I would like to shoot him in the face with a Tommy gun. I'll remember it now. So now he's trying to make friends with Daniel's ex-wife.
The hell was that?
Tired of the bullshit.
Tired make you lose your mind?
I'm with him. I mean, I just hope that there isn't some way they can fire him before he gets his guaranteed money. I hope he knows it's locked in, and that's why he's doing this. I hope there isn't some way they can fuck him for it. Otherwise, he better watch his mouth. But if he knows he's secure, fucking drop these bombs, mate. But if you're not secure, what you should have done is wait them other 6 months playing their game and then stay for the extra year beyond your 30, so at any point you can leave now, bang, you got it. But you did them 6 months playing by their rules and shit just to appease them, but then you stay for an extra year and use every podium and microphone that gets put in front of your face to explain yourself, to tell them exactly why things are the way they are. That's the way he should play it, if his job is still in jeopardy in any way. Yeah, he looks like a power boxer. He ain't throwing too many jabs there, he's throwing hook uppercut combos. He's one of them inside fighters, he'll get you with the power shots. Gotta keep them at bay with a jab. It's a long story. No pun intended.
$5 an hour, 30 on the day max.
That's the minimum wage.
There's no withholding, Bubs. It's tax-free.
Alright, it feels good to be out here, you know?
Bubbles getting bought off with a McDonald's.
Me, I've been working since I was a kid.
Yeah? What's your resume read like, Bubs? Just curious.
Well, I ain't claiming no payroll job, Kima.
He's not lying though, because they have seen him with several jobs. He was doing his little hat thing, which fair play was a cover for them to get intel, but he must have sold a couple hats, you know what I mean? And then there was the time where he was trying to play it straight and he had the little fruit stand thing.
Alright, you know what? $5 an hour, 30 on a day. That'll work. Huh?
So he's actually getting a wage to be a snitch this time. And it's below minimum wage, by the way. $5 an hour. Jesus Christ. You should have asked for 20, mate. 40, 50, 100. This is dangerous work. 1,000. Is this the day where he snaps? Shame on them for scoffing at him because of the life he's choosing to live, man. There's nothing shameful in hard work.
I'm looking for the officer's gun. Glock 9. Which happened to misplace itself during this incident.
I love how he slipped that in the guy's hat. Bunk is hilarious.
I don't care who has it now. I just needed to find his way home.
They're quietly impressed by how he rolls.
Shit, I had to try something.
I thought he did a good job. It was a good attempt.
Yeah, he down across Fremont?
Yeah, Marlowe on this side.
Oh, and Barksdale's down the way.
Okay, so he's getting subtle intel there. He's finding out that they must be working in cooperation with one another and shit. Or was that him buying off Marlowe's crew? That was Marlowe in that truck. I wonder if Bubbles will be able to remember that registration plate.
You even listen to me, McNulty?
I got a real case to bring in. A fella named Stringer Bell. You might have heard of him, I don't know.
You got a mouth on you, boy.
They've been a bit more bitchy towards one another this season, Lester Freeman and McNulty. I think Lester's getting sick of McNulty's, self-righteousness all the time.
I was doing the job when you was just dreaming on it. Daniels was out there too. Now you're gonna fuck him when he pulled you off a goddamn boat?
He's a boss. Fuck the bosses.
Ah, fuck. McNulty, man. You need to chill sometimes, mate.
He's earned some loyalty.
Fuck loyalty. And fuck you, Lester. I never thought I'd hear that chain of command horse shit come out of your mouth.
McNulty's like being an absolute dickhead in this situation.
You're not even worth the skin off my knuckles, Junior.
Jimmy, don't.
You put fire to everything you touch, McNulty, then you walk away while it burns.
I thought it was about to be an actual fist fight for a second there.
And you? I'm surprised at you, girl. Daniels raised you from a pup.
You never see him get this furious. And to be fair, they shut the fuck up and took their talking to. I don't know if that was them conceding the points he was making or not. But I've never seen Lester Freeman that fucking angry. Wow. You're not worth the skin off my knuckles, boy. McNulty wasn't ready for that shit. He was about to get carved up like a miniature chair.
Of course, I'd like to think our offer's pretty damn good, too. Excuse me while I go to the little boy's room, gentlemen. I need to tinkle.
Not quite sure who these guys are yet, but that was a lame-ass thing to say.
He need to take a piss, whether you know it or not.
You'll get used to these academic types, Bunny. Especially when you get that first paycheck. I mean, $80K is nothing to sneeze at for a number 2 security job.
What sort of security would they be working for? I don't understand what is being offered here.
I wonder what's keeping him. All he had to do was tinkle.
Well, I guess he felt the need to make a dookie, too.
Why would he be apprehensive about taking this job? Is it just that he actually is done with everything and wants to retire? Or is there something about the job specifically that's putting him off? Because 80 G's sounds like a lot of money. Well, it is a fucking lot of money. This seems like it's setting up the storyline of a man snapping. Cutty just cannot catch a fucking break.
Marlo.
Young boy. Got all that good real estate near downtown. Got himself a lunchtime trade.
This will be the first time they've heard that name to my knowledge.
You got another tip, maybe?
So much for the hourly wage.
107M703. Yeah.
Fair play, did well to remember the registration number, so he deserved his little extra.
Yeah, it's hot. Every day, you're gonna be riding in the back of that hard truck, bouncing around. Every day. And your back's gonna be yelling at you. Every day.
It sounds absolutely shit.
Ain't gonna be no big reward to it. This is it, right here. Prime that bitch 3 times. She'll start right up.
I mean, yeah, that's how it is. This is real life, and it doesn't get any better. It's just how it is.
Is that all you came by to tell me?
Just keeping the lines of dialogue open. So what's on your plate?
Oh, there's plenty of surprises around here.
She appreciated that answer. Why not?
He fingered a dirty guard up at Jessup, apparently. Got a big gold star next to his name.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, well, not to worry.
Oh, this is Avon shit. Nice. Parole Avon instantly.
Was strongly suspected to have ordered or caused the deaths of over a dozen individuals. Parole Commission's not going to walk him on his first trip to the plate. Not after a letter like that.
Good work.
I'm Team Avon, but, you know, she did her job well. I hope everyone succeeds. I want her. Let her to do well, but Avon to still thwart it and get out early. I root for everyone, and no one, except Tommy, who can go fuck himself. And Stringer Bell, who can go fuck himself with Tommy.
I got a hit on a Marlo. Street name of Black. Marlo Stanfield.
That is him as well.
What, you thought he'd be cherry?
Oh, I knew he'd have his cherry busting, but not like this. Check it out.
What is this? I wish they'd have showed us what he all has on his rap sheet there. The way she reacted, it makes it seem like he's a real career criminal. Fucking hell, can anybody go one scene in this office without Landsman poking his nose over the fucking divider and being a douche?
Man, I would murder that if she wasn't particular.
Oh my god.
Find that gun. Yeah, okay.
Landsman, you keep your fucking hands to yourself. Kima is not interested. For a multitude of reasons.
Well, went back to the west side to cop some hydro. He could have bought the same weed where he was, right? We found it with 2 in his chest and 1 in his mouth.
Well, it was his fault. He was in hiding and he went back just to get that same good weed.
How often do you see a volcano?
Yeah, but that guy built the computer.
Hey, you built the volcano.
Big whoop.
I would have picked the fucking volcano, right? We see enough computers nowadays.
You signed a separation agreement that gives me another 1,000 in alimony.
Lane, I only signed that fucking thing because I thought we'd be together. Look at how much I make. I'm not even close to being able to pay that much every month.
That's quite brutal. I thought his police wage would be enough to cover child support payments. Is that McNulty telling the truth, or was he just pettily denying her extra money there?
If you stay on this corner, you're going in a wagon. If you move yourself down to the free zone, down to the vacants along Vincent Street, then you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, that's a fair enough offer, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously there is a greater plan to it all, but it's better than what they've been doing as of late.
Vincent Street is like Switzerland. Or Amsterdam.
The fuck is that? It's one of those countries where drugs are legal.
That's crazy. The police are just explaining that to them, like, so direct like that.
So Marlo's a hitter. Maybe he works with Stringer.
Makes sense. If you need me, I'm gonna be West Side. What about you?
I gotta get the scent of my boy Stringer.
No. Marlo works for himself. I haven't seen Marlo answer to anybody as of yet. I assume he is the boss of whatever he's doing.
You know, I'm asking them corner boys if they know where the Barksdale package be at, and they looking at me like I ain't even talking. On this strip, Marlo's the name ringing now.
Marlo has already taken over, like, definite territory. Do you know what I'm saying? Stringer needs to do something now for that shit.
Son, you acting like we retarded or something. Better we put a foot in your ass? At least you'd understand it. This ain't a trick, shitbird.
Look, we grind and y'all try to stop it. That's how we do. Why you gotta go and fuck with the program?
They're literally trying to give you some free turf for a bit. Obviously, like, they're gonna bust you in the long run, but at least you get some cool little area to make yourself for now.
Tomorrow we clean the corners. Put them all in one place and give them the news.
They're gonna ship them to their new drug dealing grounds. I have never heard such an accommodating real life police story, to be honest. That's incredible. Groundbreaking. This guy's a game changer in the police force. Make him commissioner. He's the guy that should be mayor.
What is up with these phones? I've been seeing kids throw them away all day. They got cash like that to waste?
It's just be laying all over, man. Sometimes you get lucky, find some minutes on them, sell them for walking around money.
Burner phones. If you've got phone destruction porn fetish, watch Breaking Bad. They love snapping phones in half in that show. Which wouldn't destroy the SIM card or that. That would just break the screen. You could still locate the phone.
You think there's not good people on the West Side who want the same things that you...
Okay, Mrs. Roosevelt.
All I'm saying is it's not about color.
Well, at least he's not a racist, hopefully. I'm trying to find a redeemable quality in Tommy. He just seems like a piece of shit.
I'm gonna run for mayor.
Okay, so yeah, that is his master plan. I thought that was the case. He'll punish them all for laughing. McNulty loves spying on Stringer Bell during his little macroeconomics class.
Seeing you with your old gang made me think bad thoughts. Your friends cheapen you, Tommy.
You're just pissed off that they didn't recognize you when you walked in.
She's on to him.
I'm going to make a run for mayor. And you're going to run my campaign. Give me one good reason why not.
I could give you 10.
I wonder how long he's had this master plan.
Where's the fun in it if you know you're going to win? I mean, you handled that Democrat in East LA. What was his name? Garcia... Valdez. How hard was that?
So a white person can't get elected as the mayor of Baltimore. Is that because the population's predominantly African American? I'm unsure as to why that would be. Because you know them dock workers would all fucking vote for him.
I can do this. Question is, are you going to come with me?
He's such a determined little shit. These are the people that always manage to slither their way up. You know that game Snakes and Ladders? It should work with opposite rules. Because anyone genuinely trying to climb a ladder in life gets held back. And any snake manages to fucking sidewind their way upward. That game is fucking backwards.
B&B.
I think he just missed the sound of his voice. He seemed so happy just to hear from him. Was that a burner phone he was just trying numbers in?
Took your time calling back, right? Numbers don't play after a few days, man. You change them up.
Yeah, ain't you know nothing?
Respect, dawg. Respect.
Don't talk to Cutty like that.
What you got in mind?
Whatever you got that pays. Yo, Poop.
Come here, man.
I knew this was going to happen to Cutty, man. He tried. He fucking legitimately tried.
Oh, Bodie Broadus?
Yeah, that's right.
Shit, I remember your little ass when you was still in diapers. I used to spar with your older brother, James.
Hopefully Bodie shows him a bit more respect now that he knows that he knew his older brother.
Yo, TJ, you got one with some minutes left?
You could drive round there and get a right good set of Nokias for yourself, open up a little second-hand phone shop. Minutes provided. May or may not be attached to murders and or drug dealers' conversations.
So we're still talking more return than just flipping the properties for the condemnation money. Way more. Excuse me.
Is that Stringer Bell having a fucking conversation with Clay Davis?
You got the order number, right?
Holy shit, like McNulty should take a photograph of that or something. That is significant as fuck. Like, Stringer Bell is linked to one of the top heroin operations in the city. And that Clay Davis provides, collects donations or contributions or whatever you call it for the mayor's campaign. Tommy would love to get his hands on that little fucking dinner table.
My name is Major Colvin.
He's gathered them all to a basketball court.
You're here to learn about the new way.
The word learn is the trigger word for these guys, obviously. We don't want to learn nothing. Fuck out of here. Haven't you heard the phrase ignorance is bliss? That's all you need to learn, Major. He's not going to apologise, he's going to boast about his new information.
Got his number from the missions form.
Number wouldn't be 844-7393.
McNulty is always so disappointed.
Zoning offices, even campus exchanges over at BCCC.
You saying he's right?
I'm saying the phone is right.
So he's basically legitimate on all fronts for that phone. Even though he's got all that information, it just instantly means nothing.
First it was payphone and pages, then it was cell phones and face-to-face meets. Now this. Motherfuckers do learn. Every time we come at them, they learn and adjust.
It's true. They will always adapt. People always adapt to the stipulations put upon them.
Bell and Barksdale haven't sold any of it. They're buying more, in fact, and applying for building permits.
Seems a stringer bell is worse than a drug dealer.
He's a developer.
That's the smart thing to do if you're organised crime. The Yakuza are famous for doing that, going into developing big properties, businesses and things like that, and legitimising all the money they've made rather than putting the money they've made back into their criminal enterprises.
How you doing, Donette? I'm fine, String. I missed you, baby.
Why you always got to impersonate what she should say? You did that last time you hung out with her as well. Was that your thing?
Police coming to my door and I got no one to stand beside me.
You said the detective left you a card?
She did tell Stringer Bell all about it. He's not even here to say what's up to her. He's here to get the information on what McNulty wanted to know about... Well, McNulty wanted to contact her about D'Angelo.
Man said D'Angelo wasn't no suicide. Something about the way the marks was on his neck. He said D could have been murdered and shit.
There is no way he is going to tell her the truth.
I did you wrong by keeping you at arm's length. But it ain't gonna be like that no more.
Look at her. Giving in. Giving in. He's probably talking shit just because he wants to hook up there and then that day, and you probably won't hear from him again until he needs something from you again. But yeah, sure, go ahead, you know. Oh, they had to show us D'Angelo, the fucking cunts. Fuck Stringer Bell, man.
I need all my Jimmy. Again? Jesus, Bunk.
Bunk is always trying to butter McNulty up for that Omar connection.
Number 3?
That worked for you last time. The blonde at the juke.
Oh, I really liked her.
That likes everybody when they're kissing.
It's so funny. Not only do they play wingman for one another, but they've got options. So number 3 was the one they did last time. Let's see what number 2 entails. They're so strategic.
If Donette call me?
I know. Tell that bitch you busy.
Nope. I'm gonna take the call.
Alright, he's actually going to do it. Well, at least he's sticking to his word somewhat, for once. While cheating on the man he had killed. Well, not cheating, they were kind of separated, but still fucking the man he had killed's ex. Which is, again, like, I swear Stringer Bell is written in this show just to be a psychopath.
Ronnie?
Oh, here we go. This is when things get awkward. When a drunk McNulty shows up to Ronnie's house and Daniels is there. I take it that's Daniel's car as well. I fucking hoped that this awkward situation was going to arise. And again, it's all McNulty's fault. It's all McNulty's fault. He brings this shit all on himself.
I respectfully ask that you honor our existing agreement and approve Mr. Barksdale's early release.
That's bullshit. All your comments, Trooper. We made a commitment, Counselor.
Is Avon coming out? Is Avon coming out? Fucking come on!
We used to revolvers, man. 38 don't jam.
Don't hold 15 neither.
Game done changed.
Game the same. Just got more feds.
Straight away they're putting him on a murder. Like, that's fucked. Obviously, yeah, he was remembered to be a soldier, but he could have specified, like, look bro, I don't want to do something that bait that's going to put me back on a life sentence. I'm not getting back out if I go back in for the same shit. But no, straight away they're putting a weapon in his hands and telling him to do the dirtiest work available.
I should have told you so.
Daniels did know what had gone on with him previously then. I don't blame Daniels for that shit, man. Like, McNulty never lets anyone knows where they are with him until he can't get them anymore, and then he wants them again.
Coming? Nah, I think I'll stay here a while, nurse this, then I'll shove off.
I hope McNulty doesn't hold a grudge. He's the very petty type, but Daniels went man to man with him there. They shook on it. Hopefully that's the end of it.
I'm surprised they might be letting y'all get your heads up.
Sometimes you got to.
Ah, man, I mean, this is just gonna be him going straight back into the life he previously lived. I don't know if he committed that murder earlier and they're celebrating that, or if he hasn't done it yet, or what. I thought that was him going into the club to kill someone, but at least they're just having a fun night. It's probably the most fun he's had since he came out of jail, so there is that. McNulty said he was just going to stay for a few more. He's literally the last guy there. At this point, it's debatable which one's the bartender. Dominic West does the best drunk acting. It's slightly over the top for comedic purposes, but you can allow it because it is so funny. Is this them like treating him to a night out and shit because he's been out, or like, has he done this murder yet? Is this like a little celebration post-murder, or like, what the fuck's the deal? As soon as tits come out, I have to edit around this shit, man. Which is a tragedy to her beautiful breasts, and just makes editing really difficult as well. Okay, and that was episode 4 of season 3 of The Wire, Amsterdam, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Amsterdam, what did I think of that? I fucking knew it with Cutty. I fucking knew it, man. It was just the way that arc was always gonna go. They were setting it up that, like, he was trying so hard to turn the corner. He had his old flame as a motivation. Even after being rejected by it, he went back to legitimate work, but the guy just broke it down to him like, look, this is how it is forever. Is this what you want? And I guess, due to the way things had went for him since he came out, he decided fuck it. And it's such a shame to see. I mean, I fucking hate calling these things when they're fucking horrible. The first time I met Frank, I believe like the second or third time I met Frank in season 2, I knew he was dead. And I'm not saying I know Cutty's dead, but I knew that descent was about to come, and it's just such a shame. He was doing so well, and now all bets are off. He could do something wrong and go back for another life sentence. He could get killed himself. He's just back in that game, and it sucks to see. I was rooting for him, and I'm still rooting for him. And I've been waiting for that awkward situation to pop up now that Daniels and Ronnie have hooked up, just for McNulty to find out about it. But they did it in the funniest way possible. McNulty just doing his typical routine with Ronnie and showing up at her door drunk and just expecting her to open. Instead, doesn't get the door opened and turns around to see Daniel's car there. Genius. And then Daniels, like the fucking real man he is, had a sit down with McNulty, a man to man. They shook on it. Hopefully that's the end of it. But we all know how fucking petty McNulty can be. So I do not know if that's going to go anywhere from there, or if it's just like, cool, we've squashed that as men. I'm not sure whether he was being serious as well when talking about the money and how much he could give his wife. It is a lot of money for child support payments. I just wondered if they're both still just being dicks to each other, if he's telling the truth and she's telling the truth. I'm finding it hard to gauge that situation just now, but it's obviously another rift between them. They're ever bridging apart as the episodes and seasons progress. It's a shame to see, obviously, because they have children. Stringer Bell seems to be turning a corner with D'Angelo's ex, and now says he's going to like be there for her and shit. I have no time to see Stringer Bell. I dislike the character. Fuck Stringer Bell. I don't care how that relationship goes. I hope they both die in a fire. I don't wish that of D'Angelo's ex. I hope she gets mildly burned in the feet and Stringer Bell perishes. That would be the ideal outcome, I think. Maybe not fire. Maybe we're thinking too small here. I hope Stringer Bell gets hit with a fucking meteor and she is within the blast radius so that some of the debris kicks back and like just knocks her on her arse and maybe like gives her a big bruise on her shoulder. Maybe cracks a collarbone. But Stringer is squashed into a million fucking pieces. Obviously, because he's just been hit by a meteorite. And he would also start to burn up before it got to him, because of the heat that it was creating. So I'd like to think like a layer of his flesh and muscle behind it like burnt off, like you know at the end of Total Recall when they go outside and there's no oxygen, sort of like that, just before it squashed him. But you can't get everything you want in life, folks. You just can't. Here's hoping Stringer Bell gets hit by a meteorite later on in the seasons. And that scene with all the dealers getting relocated to that new area. This Major is trying his fucking level best out here to try and get just like an area which doesn't have citizens in the houses, like on the corners you're dealing in. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's a good compromise. An area with desolate buildings, people can go there to get served, they can serve there, and they'll be left alone. I hope they adhere to it, because it is a decent compromise. Obviously, the police have a larger goal to round up the people using that area at a later date. But like I said, compared to what they've been doing up to this point, it's better than that. And yeah, McNulty saw Stringer Bell at that table with Clay Davis. It doesn't mean anything directly evidence-wise, because as they've proved, Stringer's phone is legitimate and he's doing a lot of property investment and shit and trying to legitimise all the money, which is what you should be doing if you're making the sort of money where you can invest in stock things and buy properties and shit. Regardless of that, surely it will still pique the interest of those guys as good detectives to wonder exactly why the fuck Stringer Bell is directly sitting at a dinner table with Clay Davis. Surely they can't always just be talking about property development. Perhaps that's why they think it's such a dead end. And the Don, Avon the Don Barksdale has been approved early release. That is fucking beautiful. I cannot wait to see Avon come back out here. I hope Avon finds out how D'Angelo died. I hope Avon finds out Stringer snaked him with Prop Joe long before he gave the okay for him to do so. I hope Avon sees the weakness Stringer showed in controlling the areas while he's been gone. And I hope Avon comes back and takes what's rightfully his. The only thing I didn't get to see what I was hoping for this episode, well, a couple things. We never really got to see Omar kick back against that gang, which I was hoping to see, and we never got to see much of Marlowe this episode, or what's going to be the big beef between Marlowe and Stringer yet. I know they were saying a little thing about like they were shooting the dope fiends who were going to them or something, so they're doing a little thing, but it's nothing directly. Bodie and them are getting beaten with baseball bats. As Stringer, you have to show some direct force back. Like if they've came at them with bats, they have to come at them with something way worse than bats to show any sort of dominance. If you would like to see Stringer Bell killed with something way worse than a bat, click like. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more videos like this, and ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to recommend or watch in the future, anything you want to talk about, shoot the shit, just comment down below. And share this video around to anybody you think might appreciate it or want to watch this series along with us. My Patreon link is down there in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to exclusive polls and posts. You get access to these reactions I put on YouTube about a month and a half in advance of when they come up on the YouTube. And you also get access to full-length versions of all these reactions I do. So you just sync up your copy of The Wire with my full-length reaction, and then bang, we're sitting chilling watching The Wire. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and the channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.